Hey, how's it going? This is back on KKCA with a new video, and today's video we're gonna check out together how we can make something exactly the same like you saw in the beginning of the video. And it's a new introduction that I was working on for maybe 2 days or 3 because I work really slowly, and it's a tutorial which you can like learn how to create that for free. But if you want to get the template, then you're gonna need to buy it in Video Hive. So there's gonna be a link for the Video Hive link in case you want to get it, or in case you don't want to put time on it to make it, or you're stuck, or you don't have the software. So yeah, let's just make it really easy and open this up. And it's actually gonna be like a breakdown because I don't want to really make the full tutorial on how do I make this, because it's gonna take like 2 hours or more. So I'm gonna be breaking down like exactly how I did it. And okay, so just need to load a primitive in C4D and then make it a cube. And let's just go out, zoom out from the camera really quickly and put this one in the side. So you can see you're gonna need to make it thinner, okay, or less wider, okay, so less deep. Okay, that's really cool. And I think we need to go and apply a fillet to it. Maybe this seems to be an okay value, and yeah, really cool. So we're gonna need to increase the segments, maybe make them 15 by 15 by 15, because that's actually what I did. But I don't want like to have 15 segments in the z-axis, so maybe 5. I don't know, is this gonna work fine? Yeah, so can't actually see like how many how many segments are there, but that's approximately how I did it, 15 by 15 by 5. And then you're gonna need to click on Ctrl+C, Ctrl+V to create an exact copy. And then just make sure to make this one like how do I say it? Let's just go out to the size coordinates and make the size 0.1, because we only need this one to be like a placeholder for the logo, and make the other two like 0.9, 0.9, and it's going to act like a collider for the cloth. And I see that I'm doing the tutorial, which I said not to do, but I'm just trying to explain the basic stuff. So maybe this video is gonna be like 20 minutes or something, so it shouldn't take like a really long time. Okay, so this is gonna be like, this is, you're gonna call it the cloth, and this one cloth collider like CC, and then just click on this one, go to simulation tags and add cloth to it. And the other one, go to simulation tags and add cloth collider. That's really cool. So now we created these two. Then let's go back to all the original ones, and I'm going to show you my exact parameters for the cloth, and then I'm going to be showing you like the exact same parameters for the material, if in case you want to get the exact same look as this one. So let's just go to the cloth, and first of all we're gonna need to go to simulate and then cloth surface, and then just load it and then put your cloth inside of it, like make it a parent of, like make it a child of the cloth surface, and then like make the subdivisions 2, just like in this case, or 1 if you want them to be less subdivided. But 2 looks really nice and smooth, as you can see. Okay, so now let's go to the cloth and click on the tag itself and make sure the iterations are 1. The stiffness is 100 and everything else is 0, 0, 0. And the friction, leave it at 70%. And then 1, 100, 100, and then just make sure to enable this one. Okay, enable tearing. Because let me tell you something, like if you don't have this how do I say, cloth surface, then you won't be able to see the tearing of the cloth. So really quickly you can see the difference between this and that. Okay, so that's it, really simple and cool. Yeah, now we need to go to the wind settings and just make sure the wind strength is set to 2. and the other things. So just let me zoom in really quickly, and then you can copy the exact parameters. So make sure the gravity is 0 and the drag is 0%. The wind direction X is going to be like 100 centimeters, 10 centimeters, minus 30. Wind strength 2, wind turbulence strength 1, and wind turbulence speed 1. Really cool. And then, like, I don't know, maybe like let the animation play a little bit and go. So for example, 34 frames, just like in this case, and then change everything to this, as you can see. So I made it like a little bit slower so it flies slowly. And here I just set everything to like 55 minus 15 and kept the wind strength to 2 and the rest the same. So just added animation to these, and you can just click on them, like make it like here. If you click on it, it's gonna turn red. So it's an indicator to let you know that you created the keyframe. Or in case you want this to be automatic, you can just click on this one, and whenever you apply a change, it's gonna record it as a keyframe and save all your settings. And also another thing you're gonna need to do is like go to the dresser tag, and then just let me zoom out really quickly, and then just click on this cloth object and go to like point selection, and you can see I selected some points, and these are gonna be acting like belts or like fixed points for the cloth. So maybe you can select something like this. So click on one point and then another point. I mean, I usually like to go for 4 points because it's actually nice. And like once you have your point selected, just make sure to click on the cloth tag, and then just go to the dresser tag, and then set fix, and then click on fix points and then set, and you're set to go. And once you play the animation, it should look exactly like this. Really cool. Okay, and now for this second one, I don't know, I think didn't really like add a cloth collider tag to it, but sorry, but I think you can do it if you want to. So let's see. Oh yeah, I have it. Here it is. Sorry for what I said, and use the exact same parameters. Okay, and if you can't find it or you deleted it, then just make sure to go simulation tags, cloth collider. That should be fine. So let me show you really quickly what it looks like. I mean the other one in the inside. That's it. Really cool and simple plane. For the lights, I placed 2 omni lights or area lights, like here, one here and the other one there. If you want to see the positioning from the top, here it is, from front, side. And okay, so for the first material, I don't know. Oh no. That's all the lights in the scene. I thought I have another one, but it was just camera. Okay, so make sure to create 2 materials. So create new material, or just double click on here, and it's gonna create the material, and you can just copy the exact same settings. So for the color, you can use this code. So 0, 0, and 10%, and the reflectance, you're gonna change it. Like you're gonna need to delete the original one and then create a new one and make it GGX, and you're gonna need to like copy the exact same parameters, like 100, 0, 100. That's really simple, as you can see. Okay, and in the normal map, you can just not load this one because it's not really important and it's not gonna have any effect, as you can see. So if I enable it or disable it, you barely see any change. but it's really nice to have. So if you want to add a little bit of texture to your cloth, you can just do it, or load any normal map for cloth, not for wood. Okay, and the second one is gonna be like, as you can see, luminance 100% black, because we don't want it to catch any reflections. So we want it to be like just a placeholder, and it's gonna be black, and that's all. Okay, and I have another material, and it has like the scene or the environment or the sky. So if I just click on this scene by camera, you can see what it is. So it's like an HDR image, and you can like load any HDR image you want to use, but for this case I decided to choose this one because it's black and white, and we're working with black and white, so it's gonna create a lot of contrast for us. So you can just go to Google and then search for HDR image or studio, and I'm gonna be linking this photo because I found it on Google, and I'm gonna be linking the link to it so you guys can check it out and download it by yourself. And another thing is that, yeah, let me show you exactly what you need to do in the render settings. So click on here and then change the render to physical, and then in the physical tab just make it like medium or high depending on what you want. And in the save settings, just make sure it's an MP4, or you can make it a PNG sequence, which is completely fine and the same. So just if you load in the sky and you apply this material to it, which is going to be for the HDR studio, then just make sure to like apply this tag. So right click, Cinema 4D tags, and then compositing tag, and then just uncheck this one, which is seen by camera, which is gonna hide it from the camera and enable you to have an alpha channel just like this in the video. And yes, then you can just enable this alpha channel, and it's gonna be like completely fine. And then just click on here and choose a destination, and it's gonna like create two files. One is for the alpha channel, and the other one is the render itself. So if I click on just a quick render, you can see what I mean. Okay, so it's almost done rendering, and as you can see, there isn't any black and white image in the background as this, which is super fine. Okay, so I think that's it for this first part of the video, and let me just show you really quickly the setup of the camera. So just load in a camera and then click on here so you can see through the camera, and then in the coordinates just change everything to 0, 0, and then 0, then 0, then okay, shit, let me zero out these ones too. And then maybe you're happy with this result, or you can go even backwards. And that's a quick camera setup. So I have the other project file, which is like the depth, and it's completely the same, but wait, I think it's not really the same. Okay, wait, I think it's the same. Anyways, but in this one I just like what did I do? Yeah, I just made the other one like completely white. Okay, so when we are going to render this in After Effects, we're gonna get something like this. So we're gonna use an alpha channel, or so only the whites are gonna be visible. So once we put the logo in here, we can see the logo and the cloth like revealing it, because we want to have like a procedural effect. So we don't want to do everything in Cinema 4D, we just want to make everything and set it up in After Effects so we can edit everything. That's like the professional way of making any template. Okay, so enough boring talk, so let's just open up After Effects and get the real job done. So here I have my project, and I called it Tearing Animation, and it should be really simple. But wait, extension, workspace, standard reset. Okay, so now we're talking, and I really suggest, like, when you're creating this project, not to go for anything like how do I say it, extraordinary or something like that, like high quality, because you're gonna need a better machine if you have like a low spec machine like I do, which is considered to be like a little bit like above basic. Just kidding. Anyway, so this project is organized and it's ready to edit in Video Hive, but I'm gonna be breaking down everything, so it should be really easy and simple for you. So we're gonna need to, okay, so once you render everything, you're gonna have something like this. Terrain animation, so we're gonna have something like this. This is the render that you made in Cinema 4D, and this is like the alpha channel which we created in the second one, and this is for like the alpha channel that created for the first one, which is like everything everything white, everything visible except for the background. So you're gonna need to import all of these three in After Effects, and then just drag them in here and then put them into a folder, which is gonna help us when we are creating our project. And then just, so let's hide everything and make it really easy and simple. Okay, so just load in a background, and then as you can see, I have like added like something, added the gradient ramp to it, and also curves, and also the exposure, I edited that. So just load in a gradient ramp, so you can just do it by control space if you have this effects console from Video Copilot. Otherwise you're gonna need to go to effects and presets and then type in gradient ramp and then just drag it on this background and try to do something like this. Wait, let me show you. So maybe you want to put the first gradient here, and just note that I have these colors, so in case you want to use them. Let me zoom in really quickly, because one is really dark gray and the other one is like completely black. Okay, as you can see, 0 0 0 0 0 0. Okay, great. And now just if you have it like this, you can just okay, so the other one should be around here, and then look at the same parameters and apply them. So just make the shot, make it a radial ramp instead of linear, and then for the ramp scatter, make it like more than 500, which should be fine. Because if it was 0, you would have something like this, which is really completely crappy. So make it like 600 or something like that, which is gonna make it look more smooth. And I would advise to like I would advise to make the project like 32 bits. So you can just go to here, you're gonna find it maybe at 6 or 16. So hold the Alt key and then just left click on it and it's gonna change it. So 32 is gonna give you more accurate color. So 32 bits is gonna give you like better color, yeah, better colors. Okay, and that's it. So we were editing this one, I believe. Yes, we were here. So, and then I created this composition, which if you click on it, it had like these two files. So the first one was the reveal render, and the other one was the render, just like the render. Okay, so it's alpha channel. This one like is alpha channel for the render, A for alpha channel. So this first render which we created, as you can see, so just put the render in the bottom, and the other one, which is like this one, if in case you want to see it, it is just like this one, which is all white except for the background. So just change it to Luma matte, and okay, sorry, so just change the bottom one to Luma matte, and then it's gonna make it like this. And then I don't know exactly why I had this one, so I just deleted it. Okay, and then I made it a pre-comp so I can see everything, and it's now like this. Now we need to create the composition where we have like this white one, which is gonna be acting like a placeholder for the logo, which is really important for us. So just let's make it, which I already did, and it's really easy. So I have this. Okay, so let me just show you what it is. And it is this one, the last one which we created when we applied the white color to it, and we made it like this. So it's looking simple. And in the other one, like, we created the composition and did the same thing. We added a gradient ramp, only this time it's like a linear gradient, and applied these colors to it, and then it gave it that like effect. So it's now appearing only in the white area, which is pretty awesome and exactly how we want it to look. So now it's creating this reveal effect, really good. And now we're getting somewhere. As you can see, we're already getting that effect. Now we need to like add the logo. For the logo, let's just add a logo. So I have this Discord logo, and so let's just put it in the logo, so composition logo, and then put the Discord logo there, and then just scale it up a little bit. Okay, and then don't worry about this because it's not gonna look exactly like this, but I'm gonna be showing you how to do this. Okay, so create a composition for the logo and make it approximately this size. Or if you can't like really do it, so just create a composition, just add your logo, put it like here, and let me decide this one, and then where it is here in the middle, just reposition it, and then Control Shift C, which is gonna create like a pre-comp. Then click on OK, and you can see that it already created like a pre-comp for us. But maybe if we don't want it to be exactly like this, we want it to be a little bit bigger, so we can make the logo smaller. So just make the logo a little bit smaller. Now it's looking better. And now you can just like only be worried about applying the effects to get the same look as I have. So if I enable this logo composition and go to the effects and presets, you're gonna see that I have these effects, and this error is gonna be and this error is gonna appear just because you have this 32 bits composition. So for my settings, I set the edge thickness to 60. Maybe you want it to be 100, maybe you want it to be less, 30, I don't know. So 60 or 6, sorry, works best for me. And then the color should be white, and this angle, or you can use whatever angle you want to, obviously, but for me I chose like, maybe you can just set it to 0 and it's gonna look better, but I just maybe made it like this, like 5 or -5, to have some extra details on the sides, so it isn't really plain. And the light intensity, I made it like 0.4, and the drop shadow I just added. You can just search for the effects here and then just drop them on your logo. So I made the drop shadow opacity 50% and the direction to 2, and then I don't know why this is set to 2, which is the same. So the direction is 180, and the distance is 32, softness 130, and it's gonna create this exact effect that you are seeing here. Okay, so let's zoom out. Okay, sorry, I just messed that up. And now we are almost in the half of our animation. Okay, so now I have this like placeholder, which I don't exactly know why it exists. Oh yeah, now I remember. So this placeholder composition is the same as this one, where we have like this placeholder. So if I just disable it here, also if I just have it here and go there, and I have this composition which has like this video of only the alpha channel of the second one. As you can see, this one, if you just put it here above the logo and set the logo to the alpha channel, then it's gonna only appear in the white areas. So this one is gonna act like a background. So sorry, let me just undo a couple of things. So this one will act like a background, and the other one, if you apply the logo and set it to here, alpha channel is gonna only appear in the white areas, as you can see. So it should be like this, but if you like make it an alpha channel, it should make the reveal proper. Okay, so that's pretty much a lot for this video, and I have these two smoke effects, which I'll be humble enough to provide in the video description for you to download, and they are free, so no shit or whatsoever, because I got them for free. Okay, really nice and cool, and as you see, they are actually just one, and one I made it like this, and it's gonna move to the side automatically, but I just resized that and moved it to the side. And the other one, I just clicked on Ctrl D, made a duplicate and made it even bigger. As you can see, it's exactly the same, only bigger or smaller, and it's gonna give you this kind of effect. So just play around with them. And now for the vignette, I created like a vignette which was really easy. So the way to do this is just, if you like let me just hide this. So if you click on Ctrl Y, you're gonna create a solid, and then click on OK, put it here, name it vignette, and then just go to this rectangle, or just you're gonna need to select an ellipse. So just draw an ellipse like this and hold the shift key for it to look like this. Okay, so just let me try to reposition this one. So maybe like this, it's looking really good, and then it's like a mask. So just set it to like subtract, which is gonna like subtract everything, and then click on F for the feather, and then change the feather of this mask. So maybe something like this, and then click on T, and then change the opacity of it. So maybe we want it to be like this, just a little bit, to have this effect of a vignette. Okay, so the edges don't look really sharp, and then just let us enable our original one. And then here I have this, what is this? Oh yeah, so it's like a shape which I created, and you can do it by going to here, ellipse, then just create a shape like this, and that's pretty much it. Yeah, so you're gonna just need to apply some effects to it, like I did, which is, first one's gonna be like fast blur, and let me zoom in really quickly again. Okay, so fast blur, and the blur radius is gonna be like 213, and iteration is 3 horizontal and vertical, and then blur repeat edges. I don't know, maybe you shouldn't like click this, otherwise it's gonna create that weird effect. And fill mask, and this fill is only for the colors, so you can just not have it or have it to change the color of it. So the other important thing is the glow, which, yeah, if you set it to color channel, then 50, I think it's 76.5, and the glow radius is 740, and then glow intensity is 0.6, and color, you can just look it up on here. Color loops 5, 10, and 50. Okay, cool. So it's gonna create the exact same look as this one. So now you can just go to this shape and just move it, and it's gonna act like a light, really soft light. And I don't know how I got this idea, but it was really smart and intelligent. Okay, just kidding. Anyways, so I think I should just open up this composition again. Okay, so here it is, and we were on this stage, so you need to create an adjustment layer by clicking and holding on Control Alt and then clicking Y, and it's gonna create an adjustment layer. You can just right click in the new adjustment layer and then just rename it to CC or whatever you want to. And here we're gonna add some color corrections. So again, here are my settings. So the curves, you're gonna need to go for RBG and set this really simple S curve to give it this pop, like a little bit of highlights and contrast of the shadows. Then just go to the reds, and I haven't changed anything, just tilted this one a little bit to the bottom. And the greens, I haven't touched anything, and in the blues areas where the magic happens, so you can see the effect. It's still giving it like really nice pop. So you can just try to copy this curve. Okay, and the second thing I did was the exposure. I messed around with this one. So my exact settings are these: minus 38, minus 0.38, and 0.30, and 0.92. And the tint, I don't exactly think this has a big effect on it, but really it helped me. So if you set it to 20%, it's gonna give it like this like a tint. So without tint and with tint, without tint, with tint, it's gonna look a little bit desaturated because it's gonna act like this saturation. And here I have this, what is this again? Oh yeah, the flare. So you can just look up in Google for some flares, and if you find one that looks really cool for you, you can use it. Otherwise you shouldn't use it, because yeah, if you don't want, then why would you use it? Anyways, and the flare looks something like this. Okay, so just let me open this up. And this is the flare, exactly how it looks like. So you can just look at Google and find something like this, or to be honest, I created this one with Video Copilot's optical flares, and I really like it, but I just made it a pre-comp and then pre-rendered that so I can have it separately, and then just set it to like set the mode to screen, which is really nice. And that's pretty much it for this really nice logo reveal. And as you can see, it's really cool, and this is actually only the first part of it. But okay, so in case you want to learn how to do everything, then you can stick around with me and I'll show you more. And I'm sorry if this video is really long and more than 20 minutes. Okay, so we're gonna need to create two compositions. So we have this main composition, okay, and you're gonna need to go to here, create a new composition, set it to 1 to 3, I don't know what to say, then just double click on it, and then you're gonna go to your main composition, then create 2 instances. So just double click, and then make sure, just before you just create this composition, make sure it's longer than the actual composition. So maybe you want to go for 11 seconds. Okay, and then this should be nice. Okay, so just drop in the main composition. Oh shit, so just let me resize this one. 19, or here is just a preset. Why am I fucking doing this? Okay, so here is the preset. So just Control D to create a duplicate, and then just move this one to where you want the magic to happen, and then just select this one, right click, and then go to time, and then freeze frame. Okay, here it is. I was actually looking for it. So it is just like this, still frame, and then this is where the magic happens. Okay, so there are 2 parts: still frame, magic happens, still frame, magic happens. Okay, really cool. And then as you can see, it's just there, only I hit it, so I don't want the users to just find it. And I have this sound effects, which is really important, and you could create your own or use your own. And just make sure to have like a background. So just right click, add a solid, and then name it PG black, put it in the most bottom. Really cool. And make sure it's really long. So the other thing I did was like I created an adjustment layer. So the same, Control Alt and then Y, or right click, new adjustment layer, and then you can go to here, optics, compensation. Okay, shit, I'm not typing anything, but you can just go there and then optics, compensation, and then so this is gonna create that effect of like a fisheye. Okay, so I started with something like really small. So to give it that dramatic look, I needed to go to here. So, and then set it to like, how do I say? So set it to 130 here, create a keyframe, then go to the most beginning, change it to 0, and then click on this layer again, click on new, then select these keyframes, then click on F9, which I'm not gonna do because it's gonna stop recording. Then make it easy ease, and then click on this graph editor, and then go to the curves, and then create something like this, a little bit intense. Sorry, so I just moved that shit. Okay, really cool. And now if you play it, okay, so or maybe you can just leave it as a plain keyframe and then just easy ease. Okay, really simple. So we have this first one, and in the second one, okay, so in the second one we want to create another adjustment layer. So Control Alt Y, new adjustment layer, and then optics compensation. Optics compensation, and then just I don't know what other effect was there. Let me try to remember. So it's something with tile. Okay, so it's motion tile, and then let me explain to you how this motion tile works. So this is the output width, and it's 100. So it's gonna like have the full 100% length of the width. So if we add here and set it to 200, so it's gonna have like from the width, this is 50% and this is 50%. So it's gonna create like 50% here and then 50% here. So if you want to create like full frame over here, so you're gonna need to think the double. So you want 100% here and 100% here. So the way to do this is just to add to 200%. So it was 100% plus 200, which is 300. And okay, and do the same for this one, 300. So now if we zoom out or just move this, okay, so just shit. Okay, so just let me zoom out. Shit, sorry, I don't know what I'm doing exactly, sorry. So if we like okay, so if we move this one, if we change the position of this one or just hide this one, click on P, then okay, so it's not giving it any effect. So maybe you just need to apply this one to that exact frame. So okay, CC motion tile or position. So there was actually no problem with it. So I think it was just this mirror edges because it was giving it this effect. So we just needed to enable this mirror edges so we can see this kind of effect. So okay, cool. And then if you enable this one, I don't think it's gonna do anything, but it will just be okay. Okay, so then just go to this one and apply it to this adjustment layer or this one, composition, then just put it there. Then here it is, and then do the same thing. So Control C, Control V for the effect. So Control C, go to the other composition, Control V. So Control copy and then paste. And here I'm gonna need to go to the new adjustment layer, which has optics compensation. Oh shit, I didn't actually do this. Optics compensation. So okay, maybe I want to go to something extreme. So it's gonna be like a really nice animation, like from here and just set it to 0, and when you reach here we want to set it to extremely very much something like this, really nice. And here it is. So then go a little bit backwards and then change it to 0. Okay, so why? So just go and load in a bulge effect and then put it there, and from here you can just play around with the parameters. I don't exactly know the parameters which I used, so it doesn't really matter because this is just an additional to create that sort of dramatic effect. So let's have these effect come here, and then here's the bulge, and here we want to have something like simple. Okay, and then just change everything to 0, 0, 0, 0, which is fine. I don't know why exactly it is doing this, so I don't know. Maybe we shouldn't like skip this part because it's gonna take a lot of time. So that's actually not one of our most interests in this video. So we can just skip that part of creating that shit, okay? So anyways, so this effect of fisheye, it's gonna take us forever to create. So I would suggest to just skip it. And here where you see like this animation of the logo, so it is about to end. So we're gonna create this part. Okay, or wait, you can just also load in this effect. You can load in some particles from Google, just import some and then apply some color correction and make them look like this, like fire. So for example, I imported these two from Video Copilot, and they are like actually free to use, but you're gonna see that they are like black and white, so you're gonna need to change them to like screen, change the mode to screen, and I'm gonna be showing you the exact same parameters I used, so you can use them too. Okay, so let me just logo and particle. Okay, so where is it? Oh yeah, I think I don't have it here, so I just need to uncheck this one, and here it is. So I just needed to apply some effects. So there is this curves which I applied, and then I tried to get rid of those whites in this scene, so I only get like those flying particles. Okay, I think that's great. And also for the tint, I changed the second one to red, so the white's gonna turn to red, or you can make it blue, whatever you want to. So it's only gonna change the whites, which is really cool. And this for the glow, you can just disable it or enable it if you want to, but it's gonna give it this effect of a glow. So you can do it, and here are the parameters: 33.7, 44, 6.1, 10, 50, and shits like that. Okay, so that's pretty much it for this video. We just need to see how we can create this effect in the end. So it's really easy. So you see where the animation of your logo is ending. You're gonna need to drop the other logo composition, so just put it there on top of everything. And here you see that I have this adjustment layer, and it is just for this effect that we were creating before for this fisheye. Okay, so it's like for zooming in and then blowing everything up to smoke. Okay, so where you see the animation is ending, you can put this logo there, and then click on the opacity, and the opacity of this animated like part of the composition, and then you're gonna change, the opacity of these two. So the first one is gonna start from 100 and fade out to complete black, and the other one's gonna start from complete black, which is 0, and end up with 100% like opacity. So just make sure to enable keyframing and enable keyframes for when you're editing. And then you're gonna need to like in the logo I added to some text. So text composition, or you can just make it a text, which is not really important. Okay, so just make it a text, and I have this just set as a guide layer so you can see what you're doing. So it is just like a text, and there is this shape which is the same size as the other one. So here's the shape. Okay, so control shape edge. So here is the shape, and if I enable it, you're gonna see, so it is the same size of the logo, and you can just parent it to the logo, and it's gonna follow the same position as the logo. Or you can just click on position for P for position, and then go to the logo P position, and then just alt click on this position for this shape, and just parent it to this one. So wherever this goes, the other one follows. As you can see, really simple stuff to do in After Effects. And so once I have this one, I can just make the text composition like alpha channel, or what did I do? So it is simple, not even alpha channel. Oh, alpha channel, okay. Or what was it again? Inverted, oh yeah, this inverted alpha channel. And that's really it. So by the end also you might want to change parent days composition to the logo. So we want the logo to move, have a little bit of a positioning movement, I mean, and so just add like parent this one to the logo. And if you can't see this one for some reason, you can just click on F4 and it's gonna toggle between them, or you can just go to here. Okay, so that's gonna enable you to see them. So click on the logo, P. So now we are controlling the position of this one and this one at the same time. So click on P for the logo, and then once it's here, just move a little bit of key, a little bit, like 1 second, and then move it up so it moves the same and the other one. So the text is gonna be revealed once this shape, like how do I say it, moves. You see, so where the shape moves, the logo, the text appears or doesn't. So it should follow the shape, and that's really it for this video introduction. So I hope it was really good and you enjoyed it, or you learned something, because it took me a lot of time to actually create this one. And that's okay. So sorry, I think I was gonna end the video, but maybe we can just stay a little bit with the keyframes. So you can just click on these two keyframes and then click on F9 again, which I'm not gonna do, which is gonna make them ease, and then go here, the graph editor, and then select both of these two. Okay, shit, I just ruined everything up. Okay, again. So play with the curves of the logo animation, and you can see it's moving quite cool. Again, so that's the reason why I didn't want to do the tutorial for this one, is because it's gonna take a decade and I don't want to spend my whole life trying to make a video on this one. Okay, so I think you can live with that, and if you like this video, then make sure to give it a thumbs up, and if you're watching it till now, then thank you very much, because you're adorable. And if you found that there are some difficulties, or you can't make the logo, or you can't make the projects already, then why not buy it on Video Hive? It's really cheap. Okay, so see you by the next video. Peace.